Welcome to a new Let's Play for the channel, Hardcore Gaming Online, with your new co-op host, Pitmarthroy. We'll be playing a GameCube game today, made by Nintendo, Dolby Pro Logic 2, which is actually a sound company, I believe, Intelligent Systems, and a black screen of doom. I'll be quiet during the intro here. Welcome to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, also known as Fire Emblem 9, for the Nintendo GameCube. Made 2005. Alright, so let's get started here. We've got a couple of options. I'll go over extras and other interesting in-game or out-of-game stuff later on, but for now we're going to start the main project here. So, we're going to start a new game. How about on this last one right here? So first off, you're going to be choosing a difficulty level. You have easy, normal, and difficult, obviously. Now, if you're going to play the sequel to this game, you're going to have to play it on normal or difficult, because in the sequel to this game, Radiant Dawn, you can move over clear data after you've beaten this game, and you can move it over to make some of your other players better. However, they had a problem with transferring it in the North American version, so in the Japan version they have normal, difficult, and Maniac mode, so easy was taken out. So if you play it on easy mode, you're not going to be able to transfer data for the sequel, Radiant Dawn. In fact, if you do that, it's going to freeze your Wii, and you're not going to have to just turn it off. You're going to have to unplug the system and plug it back in. So, we're going to be playing this on normal, which isn't too difficult. And then after you've beaten the game once, you'll get this part right here, which is selecting your level up method, and you can choose random or fixed. Whenever characters level up, their stats can either improve randomly, or they will improve based on the unit's strength. So, let's say you've got a mage, they're going to improve in magic more often than other stats. And you get multiple stat increases for some level ups, not all of them. Sometimes you'll get a level up in just one stat, sometimes you'll get them in all of them, sometimes you'll get it in none. But yeah, fixed is definitely the better choice. Whenever you're first playing this game, though, it's going to put you on random automatically. You only get to choose this option after you've beaten the game at least once on any difficulty. So it doesn't matter what difficulty. So the first time playing it, I'd recommend easy mode to get that and some other stuff, and then, you know, if you're going to transfer it over, delete that data and then play it on normal, like we are going to. Now, normally I wouldn't talk during the cutscenes, but I do kind of want to go over...
Well, like, you had enough?
Since you guys haven't heard from me ever, kind of what to expect from my input on this channel. Expect mostly Wii games or GameCube games. Maybe, I'm not probably going to be doing anything like Call of Duty or anything special like that, but, you know, I'm not going to choose like little kid games like Let's Play Kirby Superstar Ultra or something. Haha, you suck, Ike. And he is the protagonist of the game, that's the worst part. But oh well. So yes, the game revolves around this guy right here named Ike. He is the son of Grail, who leads the Grail Mercenaries, which is the group that they're in right now. The girl you saw is Ike's younger sister, Mist. They don't have their mother anymore. She was killed in an accident, which the game will talk about later, but this is her. Her name's Elena, I believe. But Ike is training to become part of the actual mercenary group. He's not fighting with the mercenaries just yet, but he's training to be. And there are several other characters that are already in the mercenary group, but we'll get into those when we get into them. So we'll actually see one other one in this episode. I think what I'm going to be doing is 1 level per episode, and this first one's going to be mostly explanation anyway, so this episode might be a little bit long, and it's only going to be the introduction, so if you already know how to play this game, then you can just skip to the next video. But if you don't, then you should watch this. So we've got the prologue, Mercenaries. And for those of you that don't know much, mercenaries are basically people that can be hired to fight for you, and they'll fight for pretty much any side that pays well. But some mercenaries can choose their own jobs, like if they don't want to participate in a fight, even if somebody pays them, then they can choose to decline it. And I'm going to speed up the dialogue a little bit, like not, scroll through it really fast, but I'm not going to like have it where it clicks each letter right here. I'll just hit A immediately. If you hit A twice, then it will just finish out however much of the dialogue that somebody has, or the monologue, or whatever. But I'll try to make it where it's not going too slow, but not too fast either, so it's readable, but it's not to the point where you can't read it at all. Normally when I'm playing the game, I just skip through all this. You can't skip the prologue, but the prologue's an easy chapter, so. And the nice thing is sometimes it'll keep the dialogue up for a little bit longer, so if you didn't read it, then you can still read Mists, for example, even though she's not talking right now. And now we've got another member of the mercenary group. This guy's name is Boyd. And he's pretty close to Ike's skill overall right now. So we're going to be fighting this guy, Boyd. All this time right here. I don't know anything about this closer to skill business. He's only like 1 level higher than you, I think, at this point in the game. He may not even be 1 level higher. I think he might just be the same. So yes, they have tutorial windows. We are not going to watch the tutorials because that's my job. Okay, yeah, he is 1 level higher, but he's got less HP, which doesn't make sense. But oh well. So here is your basic map. If we hit start, you can see the full map here. You have blue dots are your team, enemies are red dots. Whenever they got that little thing where it has the ring pulsating like that, that's the either your main unit, in this case Ike, or the main boss or enemy, in this case Boyd, since he's the only enemy unit on the screen. So as you can see in the top left right here, it's showing you the clear, which is defeat boss. This is how you complete the map, and then how many turns. Sometimes you'll have a goal like defeat this map within 12 turns or something like that. But there's not too many of those. So basically what you do here is you just click on your character with A and you can move them around. Any space that is blue they can move to. Any space that's orange like this one, they can't move it to it, but they can attack if something is on that square. So that's how you move your characters. So just move them like this. It's pretty easy. If we hit X, then that will take you to your next unit, but there's only 1 unit, so that's pretty useless right now. If you hit Y, you can look at their status, which is, all about them. So we'll go over Ike real quickly. He's a ranger, so basically he wields a sword, and that's the only weapon he ever uses. And then you've got your personal labor here, which has all of their abilities. So you've got strength, which is how much damage they can do with a weapon, like a sword, or, an axe, which is what Boyd uses. Magic, which is how much damage a unit will inflict with magic. Now, since Ike doesn't use magic, he's not going to get very much level ups in this department, but that's not a problem, because it doesn't matter. For people that are mages, then yes, they're going to be getting a lot of this, and not a lot of strength. Skill, which is the unit's fighting skill. The higher the number, the greater the unit's hit percentages. Whenever you have a hit percentage, it basically ranks it from 1 to 100%. 100% means it will be a guaranteed hit. 0 means there's no chance at all. So a high skill is definitely something good to have. You always want to have a pretty good skill. And then we have speed, which is how many times the unit will strike in a single attack. If you've got a high speed, you'll be able to attack units twice. Like, you'll do 3 times 2 damage or something like that. But usually you'll be doing more than 3 damage, so... Speed's definitely something important too, and Ike will get a lot of speed and skill increases, so that's good too. We have the unit's luck, which affects many different things. The primary thing that this affects is sometimes you can find hidden items in the ground, and I think it's easier to find them in the sequel to this game. So the higher the luck, the better that is. Sometimes it can affect your critical hit ratio, but not by much, so it's not too big of a deal. But if you're looking for items on the ground, a high luck stat, you are going to want that. And then we have defense, which is the unit's ability to defend against attacks. So this is, just defense. It reduces damage. And then we have resistance, which is like defense only for magic instead of for regular strength. So that's how that works. And then we've got their attack, which is the amount of damage the weapon will cause, the chance that the attack will hit, the avoiding enemy attacks percentage, the range, the ability to dodge, the critical hit. A critical hit, if you do manage to land one, will inflict triple damage, but with the weapon that we're using right now, this trainer, there's no way it can get a critical hit. As you can see, it says C or IT where it says crit, it says 0, so there's no chance of getting a crit, but it's just a trainer sword. You'll swap it out for an iron sword after this part is done. So, also on this thingy right here, you can see the MT, which is might, which is its strength, the hit, which is 150, the hit percentage, because the heavier the sword, the harder it is to hit, or double, for example. The weight, which is right there, 3, the range, and then also it says sword E. You'll get higher weapon levels throughout the game. Ike's is at D right now, and the higher it goes up, the stronger weapons you're able to wield, so you'll be able to wield steel weapons, or silver weapons, or stuff like that. We've also got the build, which is the unit's weight, so whenever you have multiple characters, some characters that are lighter will be able to get shoved, which is an actually pretty helpful ability, but we'll get into that later. The type, which is just the race, Bjork or Laguz. We'll get into Laguz units later. This is just skills that they could possibly have. This is their biorhythm. If they've got a really high biorhythm, it will make the unit perform better. Whenever it's low, it won't be very helpful. It just changes throughout each turn. There's nothing you can do to change the biorhythm, really. This is the attribute, which is just... it affects the ability with other units to use, like, support bonuses, which we'll get into those later. And then there's support bonuses right here, which we don't have. And then right here we've got, obviously, our level, which is 1, our EXP, which is 0 right now, because we haven't attacked. Whenever you get to 100 experience points, your level will go up by 1. Once you get to level 20, after you level up again, you will get a class change, which will make you into a stronger character. Since Ike is the main character, once he gets to level 20, he will stop leveling up. He won't get a class change until a certain part in the game where it's forced. So, if you get him leveled up to level 20, I wouldn't really use him after that, just let other people have EXP. And then we've got HP, which the one on the left that's black is how much HP Ike has right now, and the green one is how much he could have maximum. If your HP runs out to 0, the unit is out of the game for good, so they do die. Since Ike is the main character, you cannot let him die throughout the entire game. It's impossible to let him die and beat the game, both. So if we go back to this, we can hit A. You can see the victory and defeat conditions, which is defeating the boss's victory, and defeat is if Ike dies. See, he can even die in a training session. This game is hardcore. Actually, it's not. So now with that all out of the way, after you move, you can choose one of two things. Items, which is using an item. Since we don't have any items, we can't do that. Something I would like to point out, though, right here, you can see that little thing in the corner that's got the picture of the sword, the axe, and the lance, and it's got the arrows pointing in different directions. This is the weapon triangle, and as you can see, swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. So that's the weapon triangle. And then we'll just wait. Now, Boyd's not going to move, so don't worry about that. He'll say, what's the holdup since you can't make it there on the first turn? He also won't attack you, actually. You start by attacking him. So after this, you can either shove him, which will push him from this square where he is right now to this square right here, or you can attack, which obviously that's what you want to do. And now you're going to get this little box right here. Now anything that's in blue, that's the unit that you're using, and anything that's in red, that's your enemy. So you can see HP, which is obviously the amount of health they have, MT, which is might, so how much damage you'll do, So Ike will do 9 damage, so that will lower Boyd's HP from 18 to 9. The hit percentage, which is 100 for both, so it's guaranteed that they'll both hit, and then critical, which is 0. So they're not going to be getting criticals in this fight, which you're not supposed to be. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start here. Now, I will admit the animations are pretty cool, but they do slow down the game, honestly. Like, not lag the game, but they'll make the game go slower overall, you know, like just finishing it. So after a while, I will turn them off. I mean, not right away, but after a while, we'll turn them off. And he'll say, I'm not done yet. He won't attack you, though, so you can just attack him again. Now, no matter what difficulty you play this on, this fight's always going to go the same. You're always going to have 11 HP by the end of it. And there you go. As you can see, our EXP went up whenever we attacked him, whenever we defeated him as well. And now the ring around him turns from red, enemy, to green, which is other. Yeah, Boyd is a loser. Actually, he's a good unit, but his character's a loser. So he'll go off the screen. And now we're going to face Grail again. Well, for us it's the first time, but before we face him, Mist is going to come out on the field really quickly and give us a healing item called a Vulnerary. And this will heal your HP by 10. And you definitely want to use this before fighting Grail. Now, Grail is actually going to move and attack you. As you can see, he's a level 10 hero. You're never going to gain this unit, and you'll see why later on in the game, but you're never actually going to get to use Grail unless you hack the game or something like that, so don't even bother. So what I prefer to do here is just walk up right next to him instead of attacking. Just use the Vulnerary. Because if you don't use the Vulnerary, he will kill you. He won't, like, one-hit kill you, but he will still do damage, so... Alright, now since we know he's going to counterattack, we can do a little bit of math here. He'll do 6 damage to us this turn, leaving us with 7 HP, and then he'll attack us again next turn, which will leave us with 1 HP, but we'll also counterattack, so we'll be doing 18 damage in 2 turns, so we don't have to heal twice. We can just heal that one time, and then we win the fight. Yeah, I know, Ike holds the sword really funny in his attack animation. I don't know why he does that. It's beyond me. And there we go. Now, since he was the actual boss, he's going to give you a lot more EXP for beating him than Boyd did. As you can see right here. Gives you a lot. Which also lets you level up into level 2. And that was a pretty good level up. I would have liked strength, but everything else, that's pretty nice. Didn't care about magic or resistance, really. And yes, Grail was holding back. And then Boyd comes out and he tries to be a show-off. He's like, you know, I wasn't really giving it my all either. And of course he's lying. Yeah, Boyd's out on the field. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. You tell him this. He just lost. Random chance, yeah, I'm sure. So we have won our right to be a mercenary. And with that, the prologue is done. So, next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, we're going to tackle the first real chapter, entitled The Battle Begins. See you guys then.